Hi everybody, I'm Shah from charliesangeltarot.com, and I would like to start a new project, and that is podcasting. If it's a success, then I will podcast about Whiplash, what are the symptoms and things like that. I'll go into that in a minute. And also, if it is a success, I will start doing podcasts like reviews and horoscopes weekly. You can also see them on YouTube if you prefer visual. But I'm trying to cater also for people that are blind but can hear, and also for those that prefer to listen than rather watch, especially when you're on the road, in the train or the tram or the bus. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave me your reactions. What do you think about it? Do you think it's a good idea? What would you like me to discuss or do research on to help you with your whiplash? I'm going to tell you my story for the coming episodes on why I chose to be a life coach and why I chose to be a life coach for whiplash and for loss. This is my thesis that I did 5 years ago for my course, and it covers pretty much everything besides complaints, symptoms, what you can do about it and things like that. So I will be going into depth as to what you can do, what you can expect, and what my experiences are. So here we go. Before I start, I have to excuse for not editing any of the material. This is for two reasons, and that is that I do have a speech impediment because of the whiplash. This is one of the symptoms. Also damage to the brain. It is pretty painful to come out with this, as you would like people to view you as a normal person. And because of what I've been through with the whiplash, that is why I wanted to do a course to get my speech back to some kind of normal, and also the intonation, which is very important, because you can have a very argumentative or aggressive voice and people won't listen to that. You can have a soft voice, you can have a loving voice, you can have a sad voice. If your voice and intonation is correct and good, then people will listen, hopefully. I find also that there isn't enough information with regards to whiplash, what you can expect physically, mentally, or judicially. It was like jumping in the deep end when I started, and because I was in the middle of it, I couldn't even see what was happening to me. If you don't have a diagnosis, then you can't do anything about it. You can't accept it. You just keep on going until you have found the answer. And that has taken many, many years. Up to now, it's about 13.5 years, and I'm still not there, especially judicially. But I couldn't find help or support because I didn't have a diagnosis, so nobody could help me because it wouldn't be refunded by the health insurance. So you have to have a point to start with, so that you can start accepting, you can start working through it, and you can do something about it. Well, I found myself aggressive in speech when I taped my voice, it was jagged as well, as if I'm drunk or if I was on drugs. I didn't speak correctly. Sometimes I was speaking a load of rubbish. So I decided to do something about it, and I wanted to get back to work, which was not too heavy for my body, since I've got a lot of things wrong with my body, my neck, my shoulders, my back, all because of the whiplash, the accident. I've got 2 whiplashes, and they occurred in 2007 and 2011, and it wasn't my fault. But anyway, getting back to why I wanted to start doing podcasts on Whiplash is because, like I said, there's not enough recognition, there's not enough support, so that nobody can get better or do something about it. And I thought, well, I have to do something. I was a teacher, voluntarily and also professionally, for English conversation. And I love teaching and I love taking care of people, and that was my job: auxiliary nurse, diet assistant, etc., etc. I've worked 22 years in the health sector, mainly as an auxiliary nurse and an activity nurse. That's how you help people to be active even if they're demented. So my vision was to do something useful, and I found life coach was the answer after many thoughts, research, etc. Luckily, I had a physiotherapist that mentioned it to me. He said, why don't you become a life coach? I think you'll be good at it. I said, what is that? So he gave me a name and a number, and he told me to phone Marcel from Health Balance. That is what the institution is called. I will try to also keep the story short, and I will also avoid names of institutions or municipalities or of hospitals or doctors. I don't want to get a lawsuit. So if I say institution, you know that it could be a municipality, it could be a hospital, it could be a rehabilitation, this is what I mean, rehabilitation center. Okay, I had a vision on myself or of myself to start coaching, but I didn't have the talent or the gifts in order because of whiplash. My vision on a professional coaching, that's what I'm going to start off with, and opinion, consideration and analysis. That is all that I will be discussing in this thesis, and I will do it in as a series. These are just a few of the titles of the chapters that I'll be handling. Which direction do I choose, or why? Where do I think I will be in a certain period? How do I want to be? Did it happen? Then the third one is, how did I make this choice? Why did I choose this direction? What path will I choose? And report. What vision of coaching have I developed? What is leading in the practice of being a coach? What model have you developed so far as to being a coach? How do I do my self-reflection? That is very handy. You have to be honest with yourself all the time. And personal development. So today I'm going to start off by reading this will be better for me than if I talk out of the top of my head. My starting point at the start of the training was that I did not quite know what to expect, but that was quickly rectified because it was explained, but still not fully understanding. I wanted to do something in the health and wellness sector, as I had been in the sector before, and that was the best and a calling after my feeling. I felt that I had a calling to be in the health sector. I was an auxiliary nurse, a caretaker for 22 years in various areas. Unfortunately, this is no longer possible due to 2 car accidents. So I started looking for something that I might be able to do. Despite my limitations, I was being treated by the physiotherapist who knew my teacher and who advised me to contact this teacher, I will call him Marcel, and the life coach to discuss whether I would be suitable for this. And that's how I got involved. Like I said, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I seemed extremely interesting. I also looked up information on the internet, but could not find Marcel but others. But the question is, are they real? Can they be trusted? Well, if a therapist recommends somebody, you can assume that they are trustworthy. Like I said, I wasn't sure what to expect, but it seemed extremely interesting. I also looked up information about life coach and about if I could find the institute Balance for Health that was owned by Marcel, but I couldn't find him. I only found other type of life coaches or institutions. But the question is, were they real? What is a life coach? Can they really help? Can you trust them? Well, as my physiotherapists recommended this beautiful person, Marcel, because he is magnificent, he's a great teacher, and he gave me a chance. These 2 gentlemen gave me the beginning I was looking for. You can trust them, and you have, as a life coach, you have to find a click and build up confidence and trust with your clients. And that is exactly what happened with me. Marcel, I was nervous to meet him, but I contacted him, and he came to interview me, because that is what he does. He interviews all the pupils before they start with life coach. He will tell you whether you would be a good life coach and if it is worth your while to learn and for him to teach. I wanted to make sure that I could use my brain in the right way, since there is some damage in the brain, because also of my speech impediment, also because when you have whiplash you are more likely to be impatient because of your pain. And this is what happened with me. I had to do a lot of reflect work to come to where I am today. It soon became clear that it was something for me, but I can only now say I didn't really trust myself. This became clearer after the conversation with Marcel. on before the first day of coaching and on the first day of coaching. I thought life coach was a counselor, a mentor, a social worker, but in a different way. But that is not the case. A life coach is someone who is a director and asks open questions and let you find the answers that suit you best, because the answer is within you. So life coach is an alternative, a different way from the regular sector like a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Life coaches are also not recognized as the psychiatrists and psychologists. They are qualified as well, and they are recognized by the health insurance, but they also have a medical background. A life coach was much more attractive to me because it is thinking outside the box, and also the word already says it, life coach, life experience. You are a life expert. You must really think outside the box to get results and be honest with yourself. Well, this is all me, I thought. The doors opened for me in more ways than one. I had found something that I could relate to, and that is more focused on people themselves and their feelings. Also, with the holistic side of me, the alternative side, my paranormal, this is holistic, means totally what you do, what you eat, what you drink, what your preferences are, what kind of work have you done, what are your hobbies, what is your life situation, then and now. So you're not a number, and they don't tell you take a pill. With medication, in some case you do need medication, and when I do life coaching, and I think this is outside my capabilities or capacities, I do tell my client or clients, go to the doctor, go to your GP, or go to do this, or ask questions about that. So my consideration is clear. It is written on my body to be here and to continue with life coaching. That is what I thought. Now you can see by the way I speak, this is 5 years ago, how much better and advanced I have become in my speech. I could see the analysis for this more clearly when I got the book from Marcel and his conversation, relating back to his conversation. But yes, I'm incapacitated for my work and had already been looking for information, and when I had received the brochure from Marcel through the post, then I went to the occupational health expert and had a conversation. That was somebody that you go and see in a municipality or an institution. As I said, I won't mention any names. When you go to the municipalities and you ask for assistance for reschooling so that you can get a job, that's where I went to. And he told me we don't do reimbursements or support or finance, grants for courses anymore. I told him that I had a personal injury, and that the person that was handling my file damage file that they said that could be also an institution, a judicial supporter legally. They said that Social Security should help me with a grant. I could get a grant to do this study. There are different ways of finding help now that I look back, and this is also a reason why I wanted to start the podcasts, because Whiplash is not recognized, and I want more recognition because there is a beginning after an accident. And we all need support and help sometimes, especially financial help if we haven't got financial help. But you need a good listener and somebody that understands. And in the regular system, it is pretty hard to find somebody that can think outside the box. But this person from the municipality or institution, he thought I was brave to try to do this, and he went and did some research, and he went to see some other officials, and he came back to me and he said, it is a great idea, I will allow you to do this, and I will give you, or we are going to give you a grant, because you're also not only doing something for yourself, but in the long run you will also be doing something for others, giving a service. I jumped for joy, of course. Excuse me. By the way, I have limitations, but I see them as a process and not as a limitation. And so I thought, now I can help others and show that there is a start after an accident or an incident that causes whiplash or any other damage. Because I had learned to accept it and deal with it even though I'm under treatment, I think I can be a good life coach. I can hopefully motivate people to see it differently instead of how they are now, and not to listen to others' negative conclusions. If you want, you can do anything, well, almost everything. So now I'm again a student of life at the age of 57. This is 5 years ago, at the Academy Health Balance Group, and I hope I will work again after my exams. Since I now speak better, have more self-confidence, recognition of myself, and self-love and respect, and am more powerful in my strength. When I look back, I see a sweet, sad, frustrated person who was lost and did not know how, what, and where I wanted to go. Now it is a very different. I see a sweet, strong, happier person who knows what she wants and where to go and a little how. Better. But because I still have to take third parties' organizations into account, this also appears to be the case after the experiences in class and the conversations and the supervisor's conversations. Apparently, I came across like a whirlwind, a nervous type, and now much calmer, confident, and knows where she wants to go. I've learned and experienced a lot of things, and a lot of things have been exposed. Well, that is part of it, and yes, it cannot be otherwise than that. I have changed, all for the better, and I'm helping a lot of people as much as I can with the capabilities that I have and the experience. Now, the next episode will be, which direction do I choose? Where do I think to be in a year? How do I want to be? That is the next episode. And I hope you will join me next week again, or in the next episode, for what direction I'm going to choose. And I will also be talking a little bit. I hope this was clear for you, and I hope you feel motivated or interested to join me again. And I hope you will have questions. If you have questions, please send an email to charliesangeltarot@gmail.com or buddyadvice@gmail.com. I will spell Charlie's Angel. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, my own website, charliesangeltarot.com. Charlie, CHARLIES, Angel, ANGEL, Tarot, TAROT, @gmail.com. Please send me your questions or your ideas. Perhaps you might want to speak to me. The first half hour is always free. So take care and stay safe. Thank you.